Okay. So, how I like I wanted to preach a sermon for so long, like I could do it. So I was thinking about the different things, like a good message, not like something everybody does, you know what I mean? Everybody's doing about this thing, but a lot of the times the churches nowadays, and it's understandable, but the churches, they will make the music loud, they will add smoke, you know, they will make it even like a hippie or like a Christian rap to bring people in, you know,
like glorify it.
Well, not really glorify it, but make it attracting, because if it was the way that it was back in the day, people wouldn't go to church, and that makes sense, you know what I mean? I mean, we want to attract you in and then overwhelm you with the love of God, you know what I mean? Knock you off your feet. But a lot of the times people won't go unless something's in it for them. Right. So, like, people do their sermons around that too, also, you know what I mean? I mean, because they're in control of the church, but also they want a church. So a lot of the times when you hear a sermon, it's all about like the harvest is coming and you're going to reap it. And they don't really tell you about your sacrifices, and sacrifices are still needed. Because ever since the beginning, as soon as sin entered the world, the first sacrifice was made, and God made that sacrifice for us.
Amen.
Okay? And then after that, we made sacrifices for Him.
Right.
Because He forgave us, right? And so what they would do whenever they'd have the bull or the lamb or different kinds of sins were different animals. So what they would do is right before they would kill the animal, the person that was offering it, so the one that had sinned, would put their hand on the animal's head, and it's like a transfer. Like, that person's sin went to the animal and they killed it, so it's no more. After the big sacrifice, the best, the only, the sacrifice, that wasn't needed anymore. But sacrifices are still needed. And a way to explain is because of what society has made things. Okay, so God says that we need to give at least 10%, right? 10% tithes. Right, so what society has made money these days? Everything. Even giving that 10% is a sacrifice when you look at what society has made the world. So there's a sacrifice that we need to do. Another sacrifice would be fasting. Okay, so the Bible talks about, all over the Bible, is a way to be my disciple. Pick up your cross and follow me. Picking up your cross is dying to yourself, right? Fasting, in my opinion, is denying the flesh something it wants. Right. Or something you are used
crave
to.
Or used to.
Yeah. And like if it's not eating this or that, or if it's like getting your phone, it's also, rather than denying yourself that, but replacing that with the Lord. So, I mean, if you look at it my way, that's two sacrifices. I mean, because one is easy to do, you know. I can tell myself no, but tell myself no, and then make myself sit down and read, or, you know, that's a sacrifice. Because everybody's in such a hurry. So that's a sacrifice. Another one...
You said you make your
probably the last sacrifice that is more than necessary in order to get anywhere, like happy. In order to be completely full, you have to be completely empty.
True contentment.
Right. So I'm gonna pour out this
empty
bad
vessel.
But yeah, you know what I mean. Like, I'm pouring out, you better be pouring in while I'm pouring out. I used to do that all the time. I would go like this, like, I'm pouring me out. Fill me up. Fill me up. I used to do this all the time. Fill me up. And this is completely off subject, and I know that I'm on video right now.
Okay.
But it is really important when you are trying to get intimate with the Lord, and you are trying to have the Holy Spirit inside you so much as if the only thing that's me is my face. Everything else is him. And if you're trying to do that, specifics is very important. When it comes to giving things up, when it comes to receiving things, when it comes to rebuking things, specifics is very important.
Amen.
Because I can say, Lord, I give up the ages of 3 to this. I give up what that person did. That doesn't really tell you anything. Rather than telling you, I gave up name for name this, and this person that molested me, and just specifics, like literal specifics. I've had to do that. Go through every single detail.
So many.
But it's so many little bitty details that can keep you held down. That one little thing that twisted you up inside. You didn't even recognize it because the other things, that little thing could still keep you. So specifics is very, very important. Especially whenever you are talking to God and you are just, fill me up. Fill me up. Grab it. You know, like...
You know that song?
Yeah. Yeah.
I've been listening to that song nonstop all week.
When I say like how you do hand motions and stuff, and you say, give me power, Lord, in the name of Jesus. I ask for endowment power in the name of Jesus. And discernment is a very, very good thing to ask for, is discernment. But when it comes to actually bringing yourself in and like actually grabbing things, because whenever you see things through the Lord's eyes, which is very, very, like, very hard to do for some people.
Right.
But when you can finally see things through his eyes, you will see that there's different levels.
Mm-hmm.
And there are things out there, both good and evil. So we'll go to the evil part.
Right.
But both good
There's the
and
good and
evil.
the bad and everything.
Yes. So whenever you're doing stuff like this, it's like I'm taking out all that junk. And it's like you are, because it's there.
Right.
My spirit is there.
Right. God's
The
spirit
darkness
is there.
is there. That
The
dark spirit
of God
is there.
lives in you.
Yes. And those spirits that were not really passed to me, but branded on me as a kid,
Are gone.
They're gone now. They're gone now. I ripped that brand off my ass and I threw it. Ain't no more. Okay, that's enough.
That's awesome. Thank you, Jordy. That's a beautiful message from God.
Well,
and you have no idea
like,
how much it like relates to my life right now.
No, like,
that's the cool part. It's like pieces of a puzzle.
I have. You're still